Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Mortal Kombat.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
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 Don't make me destroy you.
I feel it is my duty to immediately inform you that I enjoy people having their spines ripped out on celluloid as much as the next person, but what I thoroughly despise is a plain and simple, boring premise and boring setup set around boring characters that pronounce themselves and announce themselves like someone at a Miss World competition. Oh, my name is Liu Kang. My name is blah blah blah. My name is Scorpion. My name is this. My name is that.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao.
That's Kano.
I am bored. Bored, I tell you, of these films. Bored of their tired, cliched script writing. Bored of their tired... Oh, I'm just bored. I'm bored, and I was bored by this film, despite the brutal fight sequences, despite some really good choreography. And I'm bored, like I said, by the script writing, by lackluster characters, by lackluster performances as well, believe it or not, despite this film, featuring some really good actors. What happens? Well, what simply happens with this film, and I'm going off on a tirade here, so bear with me. What simply happens with this film is that it becomes a list, a shopping list, as it were, whereby they scroll down the never-ending tedium of what they think should be included in a Mortal Kombat film. Ah, have we got these characters? Yes, tick that one off. Ah, have we got fatalities? Yes, tick that off. Ah, have we got Goro that looks like a really crap video game character? How is it that Goro in this film looks worse than Goro in one of the friggin' video games? I don't know. That's something to ponder for yourself as you incessantly enjoy this film. And if you do, there is really something wrong with you. And I really do get that people have had nothing to enjoy in terms of cinematic experiences over the last 12 months, despite copious amounts of stuff that has been launched onto Netflix and Amazon. Yes, the majority of it has been terrible, but that is no excuse for suggesting that this film is worthy of anything less than sheer despair. Because it isn't. It's terrible. It's a terrible film. And in all honesty, I haven't written a script for this one. You know why? Because I don't think it deserves my time. It's rubbish. It is a rubbish film. Yes, the fighting's good. Yes, the violence is good. It's exciting. The bloodbath. This is what we wanted to see in a Mortal Kombat film. But it waffles on. It's a waffling mess. What is the plot? What is the setting? They throw the plot of what it means to be a Mortal Kombat film straight out the window and just flush it down the tank to set up stupid, meaningless little conflicts. The rain is pouring outside. This is a sign. Read the signs. Don't accept mediocrity. What I find most disappointingly telling is that, for whatever reason, the 1995 film had a bizarrely wonderful aesthetic about it. It was cheap and cheerful. It was bizarre. It wasn't even constructed all that well, but it knew what it was doing. This film feels like it has several different things going on all at the same time. Like I said, it wants to achieve and tick off everything on the list that should be in, much like the Star Wars films recently. Tick off the nostalgia. Tick off the nostalgia. Well, what about the story? What about the structure? It doesn't matter, because only anything anybody wants to see is nostalgia, and that is what happens here. I saw a tweet very recently about the get over here moment being the most hype moment in movie history thus far this year. Really, it's come to that. We're saying that something that we are all very familiar with, that was executed really quite blandly when you actually watch it back, quite cheaply, is the most hype moment in movie history this year. Huh. More disastrously, this film absolutely wastes the overly long running time on characters with little to no personality, apart from Kano. Kano, for my money, is the only saving grace in this film, and the opening 10 minutes. If the film had been more like the opening 10 minutes, this would have been a lot different for me. This would have been an entirely different experience altogether, because those opening 10 minutes and Kano save this film from being an absolute piece of shit. There, I've said it. I've said it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But there you are. Cole Young. Cole Young. A completely made up character, as far as I'm aware, from everything that I've read and seen. I'm not exactly very big on Mortal Kombat lore. I played it a lot when I was a lot younger. But in terms of the modern games, I haven't touched them at all. But for my money, I struggle to wonder where the idea came into creating Cole Young when they have this immense back catalogue of characters, not least Johnny Cage. You know, I think a lot of people have said it. Why wasn't it just Johnny Cage? Why wasn't it just Johnny Cage and not this guy who ends up dressed in an Aquaman type suit, like a cheap cosplay with two nightsticks that look like they've been wrapped in tinfoil and spray painted gold? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's some kind of device to get you to have an illicit emotional human response, when in essence you have characters there that could give you that. The way the film starts with Scorpion losing his entire family, there you have something there to build off, a human element to build off. You give Scorpion some deeper meaning. But they don't do that. They just hash out and throw out meaningless random words like this clan, that clan, my clan, your clan, his clan. We're fighting for this clan, we're fighting for the Netherrealm. Where is the Netherrealm? Oh, it's this deep dark desert, which we'd have no money to pump into to make it look any better. What are we doing here? Why are we fighting this? Oh, we don't know. It's all exposition. There's too much exposition in this film and not enough focus on the simple, basic elements, such as Scorpion losing his entire family. And I get they wanted to tie Cole Young into that to show the heritage, to show the descendancy and all that. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work because there's no actual connection between them. Just have either Scorpion take the reins or go with Johnny Cage. We've seen it before. We've seen it in the films. He is the linchpin between the audience, in the games as well. He's the linchpin between the audience and the crazy, bizarre, utterly unbelievable events of the Mortal Kombat. But no, let's just run with the Aquaman theme because it looks good. What even is his power? What even is his power? He can take a bit of damage and then what? Absorb it? Give it back? I don't know. He just kind of was getting punched in the back by Goro, who could have killed Cole Young in several different ways, but attempts to just punch him. I mean, come on, learn. Learn. You can see it's not doing anything. Crush his head. Rubbish. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It does look really good. I'm raging here a little bit, but it does look really good. The set pieces do look really good. Some of the actual costuming does look really good. And those little flavouring moments of character ingenuity, like Kung Lao spinning out of the ground and, you know, using his hand. It's brilliant. It really is brilliant. Scorpion looks great. Sub-Zero looks great. But there are times when it just peels away, and it peels away because there is nothing else interesting beyond the surface. There is nothing interesting to grab hold of, nothing real to grab hold of. Even the choreography, which, like I said at the start of the video, is actually pretty good, tends to fall away when you look at the people who are involved. You have Joe Taslim, who, from the Raid films, and if anybody has seen the Raid films, you will have an appreciation for his talents. But here, it's wasted. The choreography compared to those films is kids' play, absolute kids' play, and it's a shame. This should have been the film where they pump everything they've learned, everything they've seen from films like The Raid, from Headshot and all that. Just pump it all into there and make it. They've already got the 18 rating, the hard R rating. Why don't they use it? What I find more funny than anything is the sheer fact that there is no Mortal Kombat in this film. The Mortal Kombat tournament doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Everything that happens in this film is a precursor for something else, despite many of the characters being completely eviscerated and removed entirely, which one makes me wonder, are they going to bring them back? What are they going to do? I don't know. It's a very confusing film. From the script right the way down to the casting, right the way down to the way it's filmed. Everything is flashy, yet everything is flaccid. Mortal Kombat is a feature that relies squarely upon its characters to inform us of everything's going on within the universe, but here the film utterly neglects them, turning them into just boring exposition dump delivery men. And it's painful. It's actually painful to just sit there and listen to waffle and dribble. And I challenge anyone to give me a quotable moment from the film beyond Kano. I'd like to see anybody tell me a line that Shang Tsung says, again, beyond the let me eat your soul or whatever it is they says. I can't be bothered to actually remember it properly. Or indeed Raiden. What does Raiden do? Here's a good one for you. Does Raiden actually do anything in the film apart from fly away and make terrible choices? I'm pretty sure he says that I can banish anyone at any time, and doesn't until the end of the film. Brilliant. Well done. Again, it's all buzzwords and buzz lines and nostalgia-filled lines, and that is the problem with modern mainstream cinematic movies like this, because they just know there's going to be a sequel, don't they?
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel. Ah! Ah!
So, instead of putting in the hard work at the start, they're just quite happy to let us flitter through until we get to a very boring end, and eventually we'll look back when they're remaking it yet again and think, oh, well, it actually wasn't very good, was it? It wasn't good at all. Funnily enough, painfully enough, I actually think the 1995 film is much better. It's nowhere near as bad as Annihilation, nothing could be. But even with Annihilation, there was some air of self-knowing that this is actual garbage. Here in Mortal Kombat, everything is very serious, and you can tell it's serious by the nature of the acting. Yet it falls apart. It's much less entertaining than the 1995 film. It's much less entertaining than any of the video games. And this is the curse of the video game cinematic creation. They just simply don't work. Sonic the Hedgehog was an absolute bullet through space, I think. It got lucky. It got lucky because everyone wanted it to work. And to be fair, it does work in a certain degree, but here Mortal Kombat has been found out, because if you take away everything on that checklist, there is nothing else. They've done no other work in this film to make it worthwhile. And that is that. This has probably been the most rambling, angriest rant I have ever done on a film, and I'm not going to give it a score because it doesn't deserve one. It doesn't deserve one. I paid a lot of good money to watch this film early, and it was a waste of my time. If you enjoyed this film, good luck to you. Really do give you plenty of good luck from the bottom of my heart. Farewell. That's it for this video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.